I am State Senator Charlane Oliver. I represent the 19th District in Nashville. It is a pleasure to be with you all tonight. I'm standing here on behalf of the entire Senate caucus as well as the House caucus. Shout out to Ronnie Glenn out there, representative who's here. Today is, your event is pretty timely for today. We just, about a couple hours ago, adjourned sine die for the 113th General Assembly. Man, my first 2 years has been quite the journey. But you know what? It has been a revealing experience, and I wish I could share it all with you. But here's what I have learned over the past 2 years. Bipartisanship, unfortunately, does not exist at the Capitol. Decency does not exist at the Capitol. Respect, unfortunately, does not exist at the Capitol. We are working with a fascist supermajority, and after the Tennessee 3, after the Covenant shooting last year, I thought, wow, this is the moment that we have, as myself, who's been organizing in the state for the past 10 years, this is the moment. We needed national folks to understand what has been happening in Tennessee for the past 13 years under Republican rule. We finally got their attention. And we also woke up a lot of folks in this state who were pretty nonchalant about what has been happening in our state. And then, as we progressed past April of last year, there was no gun reform passed. We had a whole special session. Democrats proposed a comprehensive preventative agenda that made sure that we protected kids in schools. Not one measure passed. And I thought, wow, I just knew we were this close, because even the governor proposed an ERPO law. And that did not even move the Republican supermajority. And so after that, I said, wow, these folks are not movable. They're not persuadable. They get to run an election and win in a Republican primary off of about 2,000 votes, maybe even less for some. They go unchecked sometimes in the general election, and then they go unchecked at the legislature because they have the power, right? They have the numbers. But what I know for sure is that they don't have the numbers out here in the community. Their ideas aren't popular here in Nashville, neither are they here in Clarksville. This is what I know for sure. Unfortunately, we don't have a pathway to do ballot measures in this state, to have a public referendum. Unfortunately, partisan gerrymandering has created districts to where they don't even represent the will of the people. And so what is our pathway? The pathway leads to November 5th. The pathway is right here, ground zero in Montgomery County. Absolutely. So I ask you, do you know who you are? Do you know what power you have sitting in this room? Because that is how we win, is when everyone understands what's at stake in this election, not just locally, but nationally. Hallelujah, hopefully Trump about to go to jail. Trump ass about to go to jail. But even if he goes to jail, we have to pick up the pieces of what mess he has created. And so I want people to understand that we talk about how this is the most important election of our lifetime. And it might truly be, because we might not get our democracy back after November if we let the wrong people have power. And so we got to understand that the pathway to victory leads to that legislature. Anybody know the analogy of the babies in the water? The parable of the babies in the water? Well, there was an old village, and the villagers were working in the field one day, and the babies, there was the villager that noticed at the embankment of the river a baby running down the stream, flowing down. And so what is your natural reaction if you see a baby in the water? I gotta go get the baby. Gotta go save the baby. And as they're saving the baby, here comes another baby streaming down the river. And then before you know it, there's 5 babies and 10 babies. And so they come and get help from the other villagers and say, help me come get these babies out the water. We gotta save the babies. But then someone stops and says, wait a minute. Who's throwing the babies in the water? We got to go upstream and figure out who is throwing the babies in the water. In Tennessee, the Tennessee Republicans are throwing the babies in the water. We can't get health care in this state. 12 hospitals has closed. Black maternal health is the highest it's ever been. Poverty, we don't have a federal minimum wage. We don't have a local minimum wage. We haven't raised wages in decades in this state. Voter suppression is at an all-time high under their rule. We just voted today to give $1.6 billion to corporations that aren't helping people in their community. And so the pathway is to go get the people who are throwing the babies in the water. And we gotta go get them November 5th. And lastly, I'll say this, but we're not gonna win November just by the old tried and true tactics. Yes, we must knock doors. And if you're one of those people that only just votes, this is not the election to just vote. This is not normal times we are in. The strategies of yesterday are not working enough. We must not only vote, but we also must donate. We must vote, but we also must strap up our laces and canvass. We must vote and make phone calls for the candidates. We got 3 candidates in your county that are up against vulnerable Republicans. Congress. Megan Berry is on your ballot. Ronnie Glenn is on your ballot. Allie Phillips is on your ballot. Let's get it done, y'all. Thank you.